Okay, it says we're on YouTube. So,
Awesome.
hello everybody. Welcome to our weekly Zoom. My name is Harlequin Murray. I'm your co-host this evening, as I am every Monday night. And if you are new to our team, welcome. We're excited to have you and getting to know you. But I get the honor and privilege of introducing our top team leader, Miss Ellen Winn. And for those of you who are not used or not familiar with her, just a little bit about her. She's been a good friend of mine for, gosh, almost 20 years now. It's crazy to think that. But anyways, she grew up in Dallas, Georgia, just outside of Atlanta, and lives on on part of her family's farm to this day. But she has a strong background in the restaurant industry and actually owned her own restaurant. She had a pizza restaurant, a couple of locations that she started from scratch. So she's familiar with what our business owners have gone through. And to this day, she still owns a limousine company and an insurance agency, and those are both going really strong. But anyways, she has also been in the network marketing industry for many years as well. That's how I met her. She was the national training director in my upline in another company when I met her 20 years ago.
Mhm.
Anyway, she is one of the top brokers in DAC, and we are very fortunate to have her. So without further ado, Miss Ellen, go ahead and take it away.
All right. Thank you, Harlequin. I appreciate it. Hey, everybody. How are we doing tonight on our Monday kickoff? Hi, Lynette and Tom. See you guys on camera there. Good to see you. Thanks for showing your smiling faces. Yeah, so we've got some good information to cover tonight. Let me get us into slide share like I usually do. For those of you that have not been on one of our team Zooms, we do this every Monday, giving you guys an opportunity to get face to face with your team leader. I'm your senior team leader because I got involved with DAC 7 years ago. And I introduced Harlequin and asked her if she wanted to take a look, probably within the first few days of me joining, but it wasn't a good fit for her at the time. A year passed and things changed in her life, and she was open with DAC at that time. So she got started 6 years ago, has one of the largest teams in my organization, but all of you guys on here are part of my team. Many of you may be a part of her team, but all of you are part of my team, unless someone outside the organization invited you. And we have a few visitors from time to time, but many people watch this live, many watch a replay. Either way, we're here to answer questions for you and hit some highlights. So let me get us into screen share mode and go through what I have put together for tonight. And then I'll be happy to take questions at the end. All right, you seeing my screen there, Harlequin? Yep, awesome. Okay, why so many professionals are joining DAC? And Harlequin said, I got involved in network marketing over 20 years ago, and just that ability to have a home-based business. So network marketers, professionals, insurance agents, anybody that likes the ability to build a business from home and not have huge overheads, this is a great fit for them, especially where you can earn the large commissions like we earn here at DAC. No license required, zero cost to launch. You get paid fast daily commissions. You can build a team as large as you want and work from anywhere, any location. That's the important thing to me is the flexibility and the lifestyle that you get to have when you have a home-based business. Yes, I have a limousine company and it's based here in Atlanta, Georgia. But fortunately, I've grown that business to where I don't have to be right on top of it. I have a team of drivers that work for me and they go out and take clients on my behalf. Sometimes I go out and drive clients on my own, depending on what it is that I'm doing. In fact, I've got a really huge insurance account that I got because of my limousine business. And I was sharing with the CEO of a large company what we do with DAC. He knows about our business funding and he knew that we had gotten started in healthcare and had the healthcare conversation, and one thing led to another. And now We are on board as their broker of record. We're about to go into year 2 with that, and it's simply because of me having a full-time traditional business and not being afraid to talk about what I do with DAC. So that's all we do is just share what we're doing. And when the right fit comes along, people are going to ask questions. So with DAC, another thing that I really love about it is you can be a solo agent, you can build a small team and just refer a few people, or you can do like I'm doing and like Harlequin has chosen to do, and that's be an agency builder where we have built our frontline agency and those people are building teams and so on and so on. So literally you can get to having thousands of agents in your team simply by getting started. I got started on day one by inviting a friend of mine who lives in the next state over. I invited him to take a look at DAC right after I saw the opportunity. He got started the very same day. And by the end of my first month, I had over 300 people on my team simply because I asked a few other people to take a look at what we were doing here at DAC. So it doesn't take a huge team to get started to have some massive success. So talking about team building, I want to get into our top recruiters for the week of 8/11 through 8/17. I came in first place. I had 7 new brokers enrolled through my agency link. Second place, we had APSOL Corporation with 3 new broker recruits. In third place, we had a tie with Chris Holder and Ronnie McKellar. Each had 2 new broker recruits. Now, we had many people on the team that had 1 new broker, but you had to have 2 or more to be listed by name on our leaderboard here. So if you had someone new join your team, congratulations to you. If you didn't have somebody sign up, but you sent your link out and you did a formal invitation just saying, hey, do you keep your options open for making money outside of what you're currently doing? And if they said yes, say, hey, I got something I would like to share with you. It may or may not be a good fit. It'll only take you a few minutes to decide. That's how I do the invite if I'm talking to someone in person or on the phone or text message. Get them in front of the business presentation on our partner page, and it's either a good fit or not. So congratulations to our top recruiters. Also want to congratulate folks that got started last week. Their enrollment was 8/11 through 8/17. These are brand new brokers who have already come in and who have already completed certification in their first few days in the business. So huge round of applause for DEC Global Funding, Domco Direct LLC, Clinton Brown, Michael Jalili, Vance Wilkie, John Dolan, and Global Alliance Consulting. You know, when I look at these that have gone through certification, that tells me that these folks are taking this seriously, that they've come in and they've already committed that time allotment to go through the certification process. Now they're ready to take the next steps, taking a deeper dive on our business funding training and starting to share their link so that they can get some clients in the funnel. So congratulations to everyone who got certified. And talking about certification, if you're here as an agent or a broker and you've not gotten certified yet, what are you waiting on? You know, if you get a funding client and you're not certified, you only earn 10% of the the bonus revenue. Whereas if you are certified, you earn 40% of the bonus revenue or more. You can qualify to earn up to 80% of the bonus revenue simply by getting more customers. And the whole key to this business and you going up our new stair step process here in the compensation plan, I sent an email out earlier today combining the launch video and the document that is updated to, so you got it in one email. All you got to do is go back, pull that document up in PDF format, and then watch the video where David goes through and draws on a whiteboard and explains how each of the 4 ways that we get paid works, so that you can really see that our compensation plan is built on personal performance first and foremost. So the more you perform, the more clients you bring to the table, the bigger your income is on your personal clients, but it also bumps you up into bigger overrides on what your team is doing. So it's a win-win when you go get clients. Okay. Next thing, what do our brokers actually do? It's really simple. Go through the certification, but don't get too deep in the weeds. Yes, it's nice that you know all of the ins and outs, what the pre-qualifications are. That's the most important thing, that you know what to ask when you're pre-qualifying someone. But when it gets into the what are the rates and what are the payback terms and all of those things that are a huge variable business to business, I don't even get into that conversation with my clients. I pre-qualify them on the basics, and then I connect them to our funding platform through our DAC business capital page. Once they fill out that application, it takes them over to the appropriate lender, right? Our funnel divides them and sends them over to our instant funders at Giggle if they're doing less than 15,000 a month, or if they have personal banking account. If they're doing more than 15,000 a month and have a business checking account, then they're automatically sent over to the Bank Breezy platform. And that's it. That's as much as I have to do. The only piece that I have to intervene in next is if that client is not moving on through the process. If I just get the first email saying that they started the process and I don't get a second email letting me know that they've moved to the next step, that they've submitted a signed application, or that they've requested funding from Giggle, if they've not taken those next steps, which are clearly laid out on the quick reference funding guide there in the biz funding section of the broker resource center, if they've not moved on to that next step, then I go back to the client and I say, hey, I see that you made it this far. Is there something I can help you with? Looks like you didn't complete the application process. And then you just kind of nudge them along. If you don't know, if you're new and you don't know how to handle that, then reach out to your enroller or their up team leader who can help you. And we're happy to get on the phone with your clients to walk them through wherever their hangup is. Okay. But that's it. Our experts take over. When they get your client funded, you get paid a commission the very next day after DAC gets paid. It really is that simple. All right. Now, huge announcement. We had talked last week, we've been talking for a few days now about an event that was originally scheduled for tomorrow night, where we're doing a broker opportunity overview, followed by a special training starting at 8 p.m., highlighting 10 years of DAC. DAC just celebrated our 10-year anniversary on August the 10th. Well, we learned today that that event has been bumped up to next Tuesday. So mark your calendar for August the 26th. We'll be doing this special event at daczoom.com, which is the corporate DAC or the corporate Zoom channel. Okay, so mark your calendars for that. That is going to be a fun event. I know Harlequin's been asked to be a speaker. I've been asked to be a speaker. We're going to hear from the Duhanes and a few other people, but it'll be a great story and a great celebration. Here's some special announcements that night. Okay. All right. Now, what I want to cover tonight is something that just launched last week, and that is our online store where you can go in and order print material. DAC had a partnership with Vistaprint. That was kind of a slow, clunky process. They've now partnered with a local printer that's not far from the DAC office there in Michigan. This company that they've partnered with is servicing many nationwide organizations, just like DAC. So they're already built to do those custom dropship orders when we place our order. And I want to walk you through how to get into that. Okay. So you got to know that you need to set up an account. So to get in there, you're going to log into your DAC back office. Okay. And if you'll notice on that left-hand dashboard side, there's a link here to the print shop. When you click on the print shop, it's going to open up the page where you sign in. If you have not already created an account, just like you're setting up a new account with Amazon or anybody, you've got to create an account. This is not your DAC login. It is separate. So just like you have a separate login to get into the LMS system, you have to create an account here and create a username and password to get logged in here. So you want to click on create account. when you do that, and this is your first time, after you've created the account, then you'll use the username and password that you create when you create an account, right? Okay, so create an account. When you do that, it's going to open up and it's going to ask you some general information. You're going to fill in your name, your email address, create your username, your phone number, your cell phone, fax, any numbers that you have, your website. Here is where, when you put your website in, this is going to create a QR code automatically for you on all of your print material. So when you go in and place an order, whatever you've put into this create an account form is what's going to automatically populate into your print material. So I'll show you how to edit that in just a minute. If you've already set up an account and you go, wait a minute, I really prefer to use a domain name, which I highly recommend, rather than using davidallencapital.com / your ID number. I do not recommend that you do that. I recommend that you buy a domain name and use a domain so that you always have the flexibility of changing which page of your website that domain points to. Okay. But whatever you fill out here, you're going to save the information, create a password, confirm your password. It gives you the rules of the password there, and then you're going to save that, and then it'll ask you to log in. Okay. Now, once you have set that up, as I said, to go in and edit it, you can go in and click on your name. You'll see that in the top right corner after you've logged in to the online print store using your username and password. Once you've logged in, you'll see your little profile icon there. You can click on that and be able to go in and edit your website, your phone number, and all of that personal information that would replicate on the print material. Okay, one last thing. When we talk about this, I get a lot of questions about marketing material as we're talking about the print material tonight. I see posts in the DAC Facebook group saying, hey, where do I find this? Where do I find that? I see this video or I saw this image. Some of the images are in the DAC Broker Resource Center, okay, under the file over to the right logos and the complete drive. But the most recent material is going to be on the Facebook, the Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, Vimeo, and Instagram channels. Okay. So to find the direct links to these, to the corporate links, just go to the bottom of the emails that DAC sends out, those funder support emails that come out from support@davidallencapital.com, the newsletter, the weekly newsletter. At the very bottom of that email, you've got all of these icons. They're a clickable link that'll take you directly over to those social media pages. Okay. All right. That's the end of the slides that I have for you. I'm going to go off screen share and then let's open up for any questions. If I've missed anything that I should have pointed out, Harlequin, please feel free to jump in on that while we're waiting to see if anybody has any questions.
The only thing I can think of is for some of the new people, where would they sign up to get on the DAC email list?
Okay. That would be in the Agent Resource Center, right? Or the Broker Resource Center. Let me go over there and I'll tell you exactly where it is. In fact, let me go back on screen share here a minute. Now find it. Because this has been updated. So if you've not been into the Broker Resource Center lately, come on. All right, there we go. This getting started page has changed. It used to be a getting started video and then the funding video and all that. Well, they've started it off now. So for you as a brand new agent, or if you're recruiting agents, make sure you're familiar with this so you know what your new brokers are going through, right? So it says you want to complete these 7 steps in order. Number 1, get certified. There's instructions here on getting into that LMS portal, setting it up for the first time. And even when you go here to set it up, when you click on that reset, it automatically prompts you there on how to get your LMS password set up. Okay. Then you've got your second step, go to the business funding, like I mentioned a minute ago, the comp plan documents, all that I just sent out. But if you've been here a little while, I really want you to understand the compensation so that you get motivated to go get certified and get through the process. You've got a copy of your page links, your pay account, and then at the bottom of that page, on the Getting Started page, what Harlequin just asked about, subscribe to our DAC email list. And this is where you're going to click into broker updates and just add yourself to that email list. And for some reason, everything that I do is awfully slow. There we go. Sign up for DAC emails. You're going to enter your email, the same email that DAC has on file, your first name, last name, and your ID number. And then click join now. It's that simple to get added to those lists. And here are some more links to the YouTube, Zoom, Vimeo, etc. Okay, anything else that I need to cover while I've got the Agent or Broker Resource Center open?
Not that I could think of.
Nope. Okay. One other thing that Harlequin normally does is tells people, hey, if you've been here a while and you haven't logged into your back office, you need to do that because there is an annual renewal process in place. And that annual renewal, you'll get warnings at least 30 days before it's time for you to renew your position, which is your 1 year anniversary now from your certification date. If you've not gotten certified, it's your 1 year anniversary from when you started as a DAC broker. But now that we have certification, after you get certified, that becomes your new annual anniversary. So you'll get that warning 30 days in advance. And if you get to your renewal date and you don't renew, you're going to go into inactive status. When you're inactive, that means that you're not eligible to earn commissions. That means that you don't have an active website. That means that you can't sign up other brokers. Okay. You'll be held in an inactive status for 6 months. After that, your position is going to get canceled. If you had a team, you'll lose your team. So you got to pay attention and make sure that you're staying renewed and also go through an annual renewal on the certification. Now, we just launched certification here this month or this past month. So, you won't have to worry about that until next year, but you want to stay on top of that. And even if you're not very active with DAC, make it a point to check in once a week, once a month, or put it on your calendar, what your renewal is so that you don't get left behind on that. Okay. All right. Any
Like
questions?
Ellen,
Mhm.
I, I'm going to clarify that because for
You're going to
those of
correct
us,
me.
yeah, pardon?
You're going to correct me instead of clarify
Yeah,
it.
well, no, normally it is 1 year after you signed up previously, but
Hmm.
for a large chunk of us that came into the system, um, our renewal date is based on when we renewed last year. So most everybody, their renewal date was April 1st, but if you renewed before that, that's when your renewal date. If some people renewed after that, and so that's their renewal date. So you can't go by that. Just if you've been with DAC for longer than a year, log in.
Yeah, for sure. And that date did change as Harlequin, and thank you for that. As you explained that, it did change when we implemented the renewal process. So just be on the lookout for your emails. DAC will let you know when it's time for you to renew. I've got Lynette with a hand up. How can we help you tonight?
Yes, I am certified, bona fide certified. Have not gotten any funding done yet. But my question is, I'm thinking that the lower hanging fruit is going to be credit card processing, quicker to transition over and easier to do. But my question is, once we get that somebody in that system, what is the kind of turnaround time? How often do we get paid? And what is that based on? And, just kind of some basic uh, heads up in that arena, because I noticed the other day on the call, someone talked about the fact that they had done their entire funding uh, prerequisite through credit card processing. And I thought, what a smart way to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. So great question. And it can be low hanging fruit. Okay. Especially if you're dealing with people that you do business with, that local restaurant where I always ask for receipts when I do business with someone, and I look at that receipt to see if they're charging extra for credit cards or if they're giving cash discounts, right? If they're not already on the cash discount process, that's the one that you want to have a conversation with, because you are going to be the first mover to that market to get that conversation going. But again, it's going to really be the people that you do business with. So you know who the owner is or you know who the manager is, and they recognize you as a regular customer. Those are going to be the easier conversations. Now, on the timelines, um, it can be a turnaround of 90 days on the payment processing, because they've got to get into the system, submit their merchant processing statements. They don't submit bank statements there. The processors want to see their current processing statement so that they can see what the mix is of Amex, Visa, MasterCard, and the different types of cards, because all of those different cards have different rates, right? They want to see how much volume they're doing to be able to give them a quote for what they would pay on standard processing, and then of what it would look like if they did the cash discounting. So it takes a few days for that to happen. Then once the business makes the decision, and the business is going to have to go through a background check, because it's like getting a big loan, because credit cards really are a loan. I ran a couple of $1,000s worth of stuff on my limousine credit card today, and that money will be in my account in the morning. So, um, my credit card processor is advancing me money on people that are running credit cards and are going to pay their credit card later. So it's kind of like a loan. So they got to go through the background check. They got to go through the credit qualification. So it takes a few days to do that. And then once they come on, it's going to be at least 60 days out before that first statement comes in to show, okay, Lynette's client has come in, now it's reported to us, and then we don't get paid until the 15th of the following month. That's going to come out on your 5-level pay, what we consider our residual income. So it's a lengthy pay cycle. The good news is, if you get several of those in the funnel this month, you won't see the fruits of your labor for 90 days down the road. But if you can consistently do that, you'll see that on an ongoing basis, because they'll all kind of fall into the process there. Also, another thing on merchant credit cards is there's a lot of competition in that space. So again, the key is for you to talk to people that you have a relationship with, because I guarantee you, if you're just walking in and you don't know somebody there, they've already had several merchant processors come through trying to get their business in the past month. So you got to set yourself apart on that. But it is a great service to offer to your local community. So not trying to be a downer on that. I just want to be honest and answer your question honestly.
No,
So
I just want the reality check. So thank you. I will
yeah,
let.
yeah. But by all means, I've got credit card processing accounts. I've got one that does $200,000 a month, you know, and that in itself almost keeps me qualified on our commission plan, as we look at doing $1,000 in bonus revenue over a rolling 6-month period. Between that and healthcare clients, I could never get a funding and stay qualified with my bonus revenue, because I've got the good thing is those are reoccurring numbers, right? They run that credit card processing every single day. It pays every single month. Same thing with healthcare clients. That's a monthly client that just keeps coming back, repeat business, without having to go get a new client and without having to go see if that client needs a renewal. But also, when we have a lot of funding clients in the process, you're going to see renewals there. So once you've got a steady client base of funding clients, they're going to renew. I saw some renewals come through today. And I would venture to say that the majority of those agents that had renewal fundings probably didn't even know it was going to happen. I get renewal on my clients, and it pops in and I'm going, oh, I had funding. Where did this come from? And I go look at it, and it's a client that got funded 6 months ago and they're getting more money. So it's a surprise. Same thing with the line of credit. You know, Harlequin's got a few of those customers, and she's going, "Hey, somebody did a line of credit draw today." It's always exciting. Nice payday. So
Thanks.
good stuff. That it?
That's it. Did a good
Awesome.
job.
Thanks for your question. Thanks for coming on camera and for participating in your business and with us tonight. Good seeing you. All right. Anything else before we wrap up, guys? Any questions, comments? We've got some folks on here that are normally questions or comments. Well, I don't want to keep you again next Tuesday. It's going to be a really good day. So we want to make sure that we get the word out to folks and your teams. Tomorrow is our regular team building at 11:30 a.m. with David Rutz. Probably David, might be somebody else. Then Wednesday, we've got our funding, and then Friday, we've got our broker update. So keep your ear out for anything new, and we'll keep you up to date. I'll keep sending emails as I always do with what's coming up next. Have a great evening, everyone. Have a great week. See you soon. Thank you.